Hello students, okay, we are going to study a new lesson in our grade 9 syllabus, human circulatory system. You know, this is our 6th lesson of our grade 9 syllabus. Okay, in this video, we are going to study about I divide this whole lesson into two parts. In the first video, we can study about mainly structure of our human circulatory system, then structure of the heart, then pumping process of the heart, and then structure of the blood vessels. Okay, these are the main things we are going to study in our first video. Let's move to the lesson and we can study in the second part components of blood and their functions and blood transfusion. Okay, let's start. Human circulatory system. You know, the human circulatory system is the main system which is responsible for transporting different substances in our human body, and also you know that it is a closed system. When you consider our human circulatory system, it consists of main three parts. What are they? The heart, blood, and blood vessels. Okay, let's move to the first part, the heart. Mainly you know that heart pumps the blood to the blood vessels. Yeah, when you consider our human circulatory system, we can identify in this diagram. You can see here is our human heart, and you can see these red colored arteries which supply blood from the heart, and we can see this vein system which carry blood towards the heart. Okay, look at this video.
The circulatory system, consisting of the heart, arteries, capillaries, and veins, is the pumping mechanism that transports blood throughout the body. In the heart, the left ventricle contracts, pushing red blood cells into the aorta, the body's largest artery. From here, blood moves through a series of increasingly smaller arteries until it reaches a capillary, the junction between arteries and veins. Here, oxygen molecules detach from the red blood cells and slip across the capillary wall into body tissue. Now deoxygenated, blood begins its return to the heart. It passes through increasingly larger veins to eventually reach the right atrium. It enters the right ventricle, which pumps it through the pulmonary arteries into the lungs to pick up more oxygen. Oxygenated, blood re-enters the left atrium, moves into the left ventricle, and the blood's journey begins again.
Yeah, as we studied before, this is our heart, and it pumps blood to the other parts of the body, such as head and lungs and liver, and this is our this intestine and other below parts of the body. Let's move. We are going to study the main, as we studied in this video. Respectively, we are going to study about the main parts of the heart. Okay, when you look at this picture, we can see the structure of our heart. Mainly, there are 4 chambers. These upper chambers are called atriums, and below chambers are called ventricles. And we can divide this heart into 2 parts. This is the right side of the heart, and this is the left side of the heart. Then this chamber is called right atrium, and this is the upper second chamber is left atrium, and this is right ventricle, and this is left ventricle. Those are the main chambers in our heart. Then we can see here this right atrium and right ventricle are connected together by the tricuspid valve, and here left atrium and left ventricle are connected with special valve. This is called bicuspid valve, also it is known as mitral valve. And when you consider the veins which supply blood to the heart, can be categorized as, we can see there is a big vein which is coming from the upper part of the body, that is called superior vena cava, And we can identify there's another vein that supplies blood to the heart from the below part of the body, that is called inferior vena cava. And both of them are collected, they collect this blood to the right atrium. And on the other side, we can see there are two pulmonary veins that are coming from the left side, and there are two another pulmonary veins are connecting to the left atrium that are coming from the lungs. Okay, then those are the main veins that connect to the veins that are connected to the heart. And we can identify this is the aorta. Aorta is the main artery which supply blood from the heart. It pumps blood from the heart. Aorta it begins from the left ventricle. And also we can identify with another one here, pulmonary artery, which supply to the lungs, which is coming from starting from the right ventricle. Okay, then also we can identify here there are two valves that are starting end of the aorta, and also at the beginning of this pulmonary artery. The beginning of the pulmonary artery, starting of the pulmonary artery, we can identify semilunar valves are there. Okay, this is the main structure of our human heart. Especially you have to know that, okay, the main function of these valves are prevention of blood backward flow when it is coming from one place to another. Okay, let's move to the next part of the lesson. Chambers of the heart, as I studied before. The heart has 4 chambers. What are they? Upper chambers are called atria and lower chambers are called ventricles. Then we can identify there are 4 chambers. What are they? Right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium at left ventricle. Then furthermore we can identify here 1 right atrium, 2 right ventricle, 3 left atrium, and 4 left ventricle. Then I told you there are 2 valves at the beginning of that. They disintegrate these 2 atriums and ventricles. Those are called tricuspid at the right side and bicuspid at the left side. Then arteries, you studied before. Arteries, cardiac arteries, it means carry blood away from the heart. There are 2 main arteries. What are they? Aorta, it starts from the left ventricle, and pulmonary artery, which starts from the right ventricle. You can see here mainly this is the pulmonary artery and this is the aorta. Then valves, we studied there are semilunar valves at the starting point of the main arteries. It means pulmonary artery and aorta. This aortic semilunar valve is situated, they are known as aortic semilunar valves. Aortic semilunar valve at the starting end of the aorta, and pulmonary semilunar valve we can identify at the starting point of pulmonary artery over here. Then cardiac veins. Veins you studied before, the blood vessels which carry blood towards the heart. There are 2 veins we can identify here. First one, superior vena cava, which carry blood from the upper part of the body, and inferior vena cava, which carries blood from the below part of the body. Yeah. Then after we are going to study furthermore about these arteries, veins and capillaries that belong to the second part of the our blood circulatory system. We studied in the first part heart, main structure of the heart, and second part we are going to study about arteries, veins and capillaries. You know, mainly these arteries, veins and capillaries provide the pathway for flowing of blood away from the heart and towards the heart. And here we can identify blood vessels that take blood away from the heart are called arteries, and that blood vessels which carry blood towards the heart are called veins. And we studied aorta. Aorta is the main artery starting from the heart, divided into two branches. And what happens? Okay, it carry blood upper part of the body and below part of the body. And you can see in this picture, the main arteries and main veins are connected. Artery is further divided into arterioles. Artery is divided into arterioles, and arterioles are further divided into tiny blood vessels. Those are called blood capillaries. Then by these blood capillaries, these things that are taken through the heart, such as breathing gases, nutrition, and all the other minerals, are given to the particular blood cells, and through these cells is collected different type of items, especially excretory substances. These excretory substances that are collected inside these cells again are given to these blood capillaries. Then through the blood capillaries they are taken to the venules, and venules again connect to the main vein. This is our structure of arteries, veins, and capillaries. Yeah, look at this. The pulmonary artery, which starts from the heart, transport blood to the lungs. Especially we studied pulmonary artery which carry blood to the lungs for oxygenation, and aorta supply to the other organs. Within organ and artery further divide into arteries and arterioles. Then capillaries, I told you, capillaries join together to form venules, and venules join together to form veins. Okay, also we can identify in this structure. Okay, let's move to the next part of the lesson. Okay, pulmonary veins. We studied there are 4 pulmonary veins, 2 from the left and 2 from the right, that are coming from the lungs, which are carrying oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood is taken through these pulmonary veins and collected to this chamber. This is called left atrium. Then veins from the organs above the heart join to the superior vena cava. We can identify here superior vena cava. And veins from the organ below the heart join to the inferior vena cava. Both are connected to the right atrium over here, right atrium. Both superior and inferior vena cava are going to the right atrium, as we studied before. Then veins collect into blood capillaries in the body organs and transport the blood. And also we have to say that, okay, we can study here the pressure of blood. Okay, when we consider pressure of blood which is flowing through the veins, relatively low. Pressure in veins relatively lower than the arteries. Therefore, what happens here, when you consider the veins, okay, these veins, their walls are thinner than the arteries. Artery walls are thicker than the veins. In veins, and also we can identify when you consider structure of vein, you can see some valves are there that are open towards the heart. Why? To prevention of blood flow which is flowing towards the heart. When blood flowing towards the heart, it is prevented by these valves. The backward flow is prevented here mainly. Then I told you before, artery walls are thicker. Why? You know that the blood flows through these arteries under high pressure. Therefore, these artery walls are so elastic as well as so thick to withstand to this particular pressure. Therefore, this is the structure of arteries and veins. Here, artery walls are there, and we can also we can see here vein, structure of veins, and also capillaries. And next part, we can identify here this blood flow. Different type of materials that are taken from the blood are transported through the arteries, veins, and capillaries, especially red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, like that. And also when you consider the structure of capillaries, they are very thin cell layers. Okay, when you consider the structure of the wall of the capillary, we can identify here they are so tiny. Why? To transport these materials that are taken from the to the blood has to be diffused to the particular part of the body, particular cells inside these bodies. And we can identify here in this structure, as they spread among the cells, okay, there are thousands, millions of capillaries are there in our body, okay, that are taken, these different type of minerals and nutrients and gases that are taken through the blood are transfused to the body cells through the capillary walls. Okay, this is the end of the first part of our lesson, and we can study furthermore in our second video. Thank you.